And so I noticed very quickly that I had a slightly different perspective when I would get into projects. Like when I was on a team, we'd be working on a particular problem. We'd go into, let's say, for example, a discovery call. And I would always have a slightly different set of high priority questions than the other people in the meeting. And I thought that was interesting. For example, my questions, I might go in where other people, let's say we're talking about a Sales Cloud project and they're talking about products and they're talking about pricing and I wanted to go in and I wanted to talk about culture and values. I wanted to talk about what kind of incentives does the business want to build out to motivate the right behaviors and sales motions inside the platform. And I just found that that was interesting that people didn't ask these questions because I find them to be actually much more important than the semantic data about what are their product names and prices and things like that. Because
Mm.
if we don't get the incentives right in the sales process, then there's a lot of unhappy customers and there's a lot of boundary jumping and nefarious things that can happen on the sales team because the money motivation is so significant. So taking that information as I started to build my own practice, I was essentially had a decision to make. Do I want to hire people who already know Salesforce, who already know this business? And just by the nature of my business at the time, I really couldn't afford to get people who were already experienced. And I was a little bit suspicious of that because the people who are already experienced typically focused on the more mainstream standard discovery questions and priorities in a project,
Mm.
which I was a little bit suspicious of because I saw where that has gone. And I started to do a little research as well, seeing the impact on that with regular, other tech projects that Salesforce just inherits from. So
Mm.
because of that, I started to consider, well, what if I got someone, for example, one of my first team members I found on a volleyball court. I was playing sports. I found that he was really good under pressure, that he didn't react poorly to the other team, even when they said, rude things to him.